his inability to be faithful after eating off of women for so many years.
Oh my goodness.
That's when you were supposed to get it here.
Oh my goodness. We need to talk about that.
That's not today though.
I'm so mad at him.
I don't know why.
Because I got a chance to read about
why are you mad at him? Because truth be told, we knew that was coming.
I didn't.
We were just waiting for the other shoe to fall.
I didn't.
We did. We been knew. We knew. And I don't mean men, because some men celebrated. Me personally, I was like, he's gonna get caught. He's gonna be exposed because his behavior is what's gonna tell on him. And he told himself.
Dang, that was messed up.
Was it? I'm more so mad at him for his wife, not necessarily at him himself. He just proved to you that fuck boys are always fuck boys.
I'm mad at him.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Chatty Queens Brunch Club. We are live today, back in the building. For those of you who's tuning in, Happy New Year. I hope your 2023 has started off way better than your 2022 ended. As you can see, she's having technical difficulties. I don't know how. It's her phone. I wish she would put a case back on her phone.
It's the raggediest phone. I got other phones, guys, but I can't let go of this one for some reason.
But today's episode is not going to be one of your long-term episodes. We want to just go ahead and just catch you up and on live.
Catching up. Hello, everybody. We are live. This is the Chat Queen. I know y'all miss me, but I am back.
Pull your mic close.
I am back. I'm back.
There you go.
And this is not like Tom said. It's not going to be a typical show.
It's just us having a little conversation. So, how was your New Year's? Let's start from there.
Oh my God.
My
New Year's. I always bring the New Year's in. I know I'm corny, or you might call me corny, or you might agree. You probably did the same thing. I was on my knees praying my New Year's in. I do it every year.
I'm glad you add that second half.
I do it for my own personal reasons, not for show. I usually don't tell people. You just ask, but on my knees. And then I really didn't go out this time. I planned to. I wasn't feeling so good. I feel like I've been working real hard on some other things, and I should have just taken the time for myself, stay home, and
I think that seems to be the theme for everybody this year. So many people went through so much. It was so many loss towards the end of the year for a lot of people I'm close with, including myself. But I think this year is self-care for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, we've already kind of proven to the world that y'all need us. We don't need you. So a lot of people are not taking just remedial jobs anymore. Even the food industry had to readjust how they do everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have to treat their customers better, their employees better, just overall.
Customer service.
Well, that's because for a brief moment in time when they were only offering bare minimum, and everybody was like, no, the Stimmy's giving me more than what you could ever give me, or unemployment is paying me way more than you could ever offer me. A lot of people were not going back to those basic entry-level jobs. Then with higher paying jobs now willing to give people a chance, because they need a lot of places needed stuff to be filled. A lot of those people started to jump out and take those jobs, or people were going back to school. So your everyday jobs like your Burger Kings and McDonald's or Walgreens or Quick Trips and stuff like that. Well, not Quick Trip, more Speedway than Quick Trip. Mm-hmm. They were getting to the point where we got to fill these spots. So for a while, they were just hiring anybody. But by doing that, they realized, like, oh my God, we can't just hire anybody.
Right.
And their customer service was being affected, and people were going online complaining because they had time now. Okay, so they had to change it up. So in order to get the good employees that they always wanted, a lot of people had to increase their base pay. So there's a lot of jobs who initially was only paying $8 an hour had to jump up to 12 to 13.
Yep.
Then you started seeing hours being weird. Like there's a Taco Bell by my house that won't stay open past 6 o'clock no more.
Yeah.
Or they'll shut down, or people will close completely on Sunday to compensate for the pay shift. So the world is turned upside down, but honestly, it's going to be for the good in the long run.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because it's going to make a lot of us stop relying on fast food. Whereas now you have to either A, pay these exuberant prices to DoorDash, or B, cook something for a change.
I cook anyway.
You know, some people don't cook like that.
I can't stand people making my
I'm
food.
definitely guilty of just grabbing something real quickly and then going about and do my busy 25-hour day.
Oh my God.
But no, because of the, not being able to just do fast food as much, some of the favorite spots being closed early or just getting sick and tired of it, me and the kids tend to eat at home more often now. And we're actually having fun. I think tonight we're gonna go ahead and do homemade pizzas, which I'm scared of that for the girls because they'll put anything on their pizza. And I'm not gonna deal with that.
I'm doing some stuffed mashed potatoes.
What about you and the girls for you?
I'm doing stuffed mashed potatoes tonight. You know, I've been doing my little meal prepping, trying to get my body right. And speaking of customer service, what I was gonna say was I went to the gym, me and my sister, and we just wanted to get the kids out. And
I never knew you had a sister.
I do have a sister. I have to bring her in. You have to meet her.
I have to. Okay.
I have two sisters.
See, look. Things we don't know about you.
And we went to work out, and and it just reminded me that after COVID relationships with people and how environments have changed in customer service. And usually corporate mattered, when it comes down to their business and how they treat their customers. I was working out, and afterwards we stopped in by the sauna, and they were closing at 6 o'clock. Literally 6:05. We were in the locker room, the women's locker room. They're in there rushing us like, you got to get out of here. A man was back there. I had no clothes on.
Oh my.
None. I said, is that a man's voice I'm hearing? Like, you guys, I know you're ready to go home, but check the women's locker room just to make sure everybody is out.
Right. No.
And the way they handled it, she's like, that's the cleaning crew. The cleaning crew, that makes it 10 times worse. I don't know this man from...
Exactly. You don't know what the outcome could have been.
I'm like, and I'm in there by myself. There's a lady in there cleaning and a man. I'm like, this is crazy.
They don't be a lot of these places. You're starting to find out that at the end of the day, you're mostly a number. And if they always had the mentality that as loyal as you possibly could be, you can also be replaced by somebody else. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times we have to stop looking at loyalty to a company as being the reason we continue to do business more so than how they do us.
Right.
Because for every company out there, for every single thing you can think of, there's about 2 to 3 different other companies that do the same thing.
That's true.
Which is another reason why when it comes to supporting Black-owned businesses, we do have to be a little bit more diligent in regards to that. At the same time, we got to stop treating our Black businesses like handouts. Because the business is Black doesn't mean we're supposed to automatically hook you up. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day.
And it's important now.
It is.
It can be briefly spoken upon on my podcast because I feel like it's a very important subject, and it's detrimental to our community and our growth. We ain't going nowhere without each other.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Since you are a corny person, I'm going to go ahead and play some of these questions to you. Because I want to get to know you a little bit better, but I don't want like the obvious outside of the fact that I did not know you had 2 sisters.
You didn't ever ask.
I did. That's why I said I'm not going to be mad at you. I never asked. I just know that you have a husband, you have kids, you're a hardworking woman, you love the Lord, and you have a podcast.
I love people.
I don't know about all that, but
to a certain extent.
Okay. All right. If you could instantly become one, what would you be an expert in?
Investing.
Okay. Why that?
I would be an investor
Why an investor?
because there's so many different paths I can go down in investing. You can invest in stock, you can invest in um, real estate. I mean, there's just so many different ways that you can invest. And if I could just start in one area, start here, and then spread here, I'd be rich in probably a year.
What will be your starting one? Because investing is very volatile. So at one day you can invest in a company and it's phenomenal, and then all of a sudden that market could flip and you could have lost millions.
I think I would start with something that I know we're gonna need, like tissue.
Okay.
It'll be something simple.
Yes. Okay.
And just play around with it. There are a few companies that I won't mention that I would probably want to buy stock in, but I don't want to go there. I want to talk about it because I know
Okay.
I've heard some really good things about investing, but I would start with like some Charmin tissue.
Okay. I mean, you're not wrong. I personally would buy a paper mill.
Oh, that's smart.
'Cause
Okay, why?
think about it. Everything that we do in some shape or form needs to go
See?
through a mill. Even the Charmin tissue that you
That's why
referred to
right.
has to go
That's
through a
why I
paper
said
mill.
tissue. Exactly.
So even though we're starting to become more of an electronic thing, so the written paper is not that necessary,
Mhm.
paper is still necessary.
Paper is
Still necessary no matter how you look at it. There are still always going to be that person who likes the smell of a brand new book. So that book will need to get printed and need to be made. So my investment will go there. Speaking of books, what's a book you think belongs on everybody's shelf?
My book.
Tell us about your book.
Shouldn't have said
No, we here now.
that.
We here now. Let's do this. Tell us about your book. Now, first of all, is the book already made?
Yep, it's made.
Okay. What's the name of the book?
It's been edited twice.
What's the name of the book?
Don't get mad when I tell.
Okay. What's the book about? Because it sounds like a tell-all book.
It is.
But what are we telling?
So there are a lot of things that left really big indentations on my life.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say that it molded me to be the person that I am today,
But it molded you to be the person you are
but
today.
it molded me to be the person that I was yesterday.
Okay.
I am consistently and continually growing. I made some choices just recently that I'm not ready to talk about. I'm serious. Y'all gonna see a lot of changes with me over the next probably this year. 2023 is definitely a I'll say it's gonna be very life changing for me. You know, I'm stepping up and getting and up increasing my game. I want to be where I should have been 10 years ago. And I feel like God has his timing and his purpose. And I feel like if you rush that, your timing gonna be off. That's why your brain don't align with exactly what it is. You don't have the same resources or anything. Nothing's in front of your face. How can I get this done?
Right.
And things start all coming together. It's because God's timing is opening up those opportunities. So I feel like I'm there. I have
Okay.
made some recent changes. And with this book, I have not released it because, like I said, you have to be strong enough to release something like what I have in my book. It's my life story. The way I wrote the book, you would want to call it a memoir, and I started off that way. That's why I haven't released the book.
A memoir.
I want to say it is, but sorry for chewing. I'm just me. I'm gonna eat, but I haven't released the book for that reason because the best advice I've gotten was once that book is out, it's out there. You can't change anything. You can't say whatever happened. You got to be ready to talk about it.
You do.
Book signings and different things like that. So it's not that I'm afraid. I just want to be mentally strong and ready.
You ever watch Queen Sugar?
You're the second person to ask me that right before the New Year's and now.
Okay. Reason why I say that is there's a particular season
Mhm.
I want to say it's the third. It's either the third or the fourth season, but there's a particular season
Thank you.
where one of the characters wrote a book similar to the way you're describing yours.
Mhm.
In that book, she did go ahead and kind of tell some things, and it definitely shook the family. Okay. I definitely want you to watch that season before you release that book. Not because that season is going to be the same path you're going to go down, because we've talked about this book off air before, so it's no big deal. But I just want you to have an understanding of both a negative and a positive impact it can have. Because on the positive side, so many people were coming out saying thank you for writing this book. Um, but on the other side, her family themselves, ooh, I don't want to give away the season, but I think it's like the third season. Yeah, it's about the second or third season. So definitely make sure you check that. Let's go ahead and let's pivot to the left a little bit here.
So let me say this before we move on. I don't want you to think that because every time you ask me the question or I'm on air and my book is we bring up the book, I kind of talk around it. If you notice.
You do.
You know how they always that term save the best for last.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot in that book that is detrimental to, and I don't even want to say family because it's split up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and my mom, I'm very close with her family or my mom's side of the family.
It's usually
not to say when I say that, I mean my grandmother on down.
Right.
I'm not talking about anything else. And a lot of things are sometimes out of people's control.
Right.
And it's going to be hard for me to separate that. And that's a big deal for me. And so when I talk about family, nobody's going to understand what I'm talking about. Like this, my family, which I mostly claim to be like a Johnson or a Carlisle, you know, those are us. Like that's what I feel strong in. But we come from a different, like my last name has changed now that I'm married, but you know, I probably would have changed it anyway because I really have changed and grown so much. And I don't want to make anybody feel bad or be a negative impact in this book. I don't want it to be a negative impact on relationships with anyone.
Right.
But I feel like it needs to come out. And it's one of those things that's going to help me in my growth. I don't feel like I have to be quiet. And I'm not growing an extra layer of skin for nobody.
Yes, you should.
What happened, it's not going to happen, you know. So, I mean, I don't feel good in being quiet on certain things and subjects.
And you shouldn't.
Or life events. So I talk around it because I think that it's going to come. And when it does, I feel like people are going to look at me different. And that's okay.
All right. As you should. That's why I want you to hurry and put this book out and quit playing. All right. If you had someone following you around all the time, what would you have them do? So they're not your personal assistant. They're just somebody you have 100% control over. What would you do?
A man or a woman?
Let's say you got one of each.
And they're not a personal assistant?
Mm-mm. It's just somebody you got full control over. You ever watch Harry Potter?
I didn't really get into Harry Potter.
Okay. So there was this little thing called Dobby. Dobby was basically, in so many words, a tiny little slave. But in this particular case, they're not a slave. They're just, if you say, hey, go and jump off that couch for 5 minutes, that's what they'll do for 5 minutes. So you have an individual you have full control over. What would you do? What would you have them do?
That's such a crazy question because I don't like taking advantage of anybody. That's like a big deal for me. I don't even like asking people to do stuff for me.
That's why I asked this particular question.
But if I really had that leisure,
had that leisure.
I probably would have somebody driving me around.
Okay.
Take care of my budget because I'm like a horrible spender. I cannot keep money in my pocket for nothing. And I have my money going all different kind of places and still be like, this is here for this. And I go in that area and go, you know, after this is wiped out, I'll go over there and do it here. You know, when I'm trying
So at the end of the day, no matter what,
you'll turn them into
your personal assistant.
Can you budget for me? Can you drive me back and forth to work? And can you clean the house? Do all the laundry?
Okay.
And I'll pay you.
Oh, you're gonna pay them. You technically don't have to. They'll do whatever you say, but okay. All right. Since we're talking about you, what's one thing you'll change about yourself?
One thing I would change about myself.
Mm-hmm. Now, take in consideration, you have the ability to change anything. So if someone says, "Hey, you have one wish to change something about yourself," it can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be mental, it could be socially. What would you change about yourself?
I think I would be fearless
Why you say that?
because I think fear holds me back from a lot of things. Even in, like I said, when we talk outside of the camera, I don't stutter. I don't get. We could just roll. When as soon as I'm in front of the camera, I get like
But you know that
I don't know if it's fear but I get like that all the time. So it's in certain instances,
I
like
think is you don't want the spotlight. You do and you don't.
right,
Like you want to be acknowledged for what you do and who you are and where you go. But if you can do all that without them seeing you do it,
oh my god,
you'll be fine.
who are you? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, that's true.
I told you, fam, I know you better than you know yourself. And we do this all the time.
So is that fear?
It kind of is, but it's also humbleness in the same time.
Okay.
Because like if you can go out here and change the world and nobody ever knew you were the one that do it, you'll be perfectly fine with that. Whereas, and you'll have some people who they have to have the recognition.
Yeah.
They have to have that award. They have to have that acolyte, and they don't have to have it while they're doing it. But when they're done, you have to acknowledge you only this got here because insert name.
Yeah.
Then you have those people who won't do it unless you see me do it, kind of a scenario.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit of everybody. All right. Now you said that you're a people person, right?
You said no.
Somewhat.
Somewhat.
Okay. What do you value most in your friends?
Um, Understanding my time and that I have a family and I can't do everything, so they're understanding of I guess that goes both ways with
Right.
us, understanding and respecting each other's time. We can't always get together. I can't always come to a party and
Well, as you get older,
yeah.
people will have to learn that what you value changes. Like I have friends who maybe on Wednesdays and Thursdays they'll go out after work the same job with them. I value being at home with my girls,
Yeah.
doing absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
And it's not that I don't care about my friends, and it's not like I don't need a day where I go out and get shit faced.
Right.
But if I know my babies are home, that's more important to me. So it happens to everybody. What is your greatest regret?
Not believing in myself sooner.
Hmm. When was the first time you ever realized that you need to stop being a punk and do what you want to do?
Last year,
What happened?
I lost my brother.
Okay.
And although I wasn't real close to him, we weren't like best friends or anything like that. And with the relationship with my father, it's like we just be in and out, but we try to have more relationship with each other than and losing him was like, dang, this can really happen. This can really happen. We get one life. And I started to reflect more on all the things that I know I wanted to do, and that if I made it, what he would be like, dang, that's my sister. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just reflecting on who I do have left here and who I do need to make proud, including myself, starting with myself. I think that, I think that that's when a lot of things began to change. And that wasn't even last year, but last year is when I began to look at things a little bit more harder.
Right.
And really taking into account that this needs to happen and owning it.
Since we're here now in the new year, what are you most excited about right now?
I am so, what, I was just texting a friend and I said, I don't know what God is doing, but I'm all right with it.
Okay.
So it is something that is unseen happening that I can't even see it myself. I can just
Okay.
feel it.
You just know that you're
I
not.
feel so good. Like I just feel invigorated, like
Okay.
happy and vibrant. And I
I
feel
see it.
excited about this future that's coming that I don't even know what God is doing.
I see it in your face. I won't
It's
lie like that.
crazy. It's something happening, and I don't even care about the things I used to care about. I don't have time for a lot of other things that I used to have time for, like, to even
Okay.
think about. So I'm excited about my future, Tom.
I know you are. I see it in your face.
I told you. I said some great things are coming.
You did.
Yeah.
All right. With the exception of your kids, because I always have to say this because people always use as their answer. What do you consider your greatest achievement?
My greatest achievement. Whew.
That's why I take kids out the equation because that's everybody's cop out.
Well, I probably wouldn't say that they are my greatest achievement either.
We'll get back to that later. Let's. What do you think is your greatest achievement?
Um, Acknowledgement.
Okay.
I
Acknowledgement
have
for you
come for
or
myself,
okay.
and I'm not trying to be greedy here
This is your moment. You can
because
be as greedy as you want.
a lot of things has fallen apart without self-acknowledgement, even in raising my children.
Okay.
And sometimes, and that is a cop out. Your greatest acknowledgement cannot be your children if you are not together.
Oh, say that out loud.
Your greatest acknowledgement cannot be your children. I say that because of so many unpurposeful happenings,
True.
and I think that if I had a chance to acknowledge things a long time ago, and at this point, my greatest acknowledgement is self-acknowledgement,
Okay.
self-acknowledgement, self-awareness. Just becoming walking in these shoes now, like girl, and that's hard. It seems simple, but owning yourself and getting to know yourself, self-love, self-care is hard.
Okay. All right. I only got three more with you today.
Let's go.
Three more questions. All right. Let's pivot to the left one more time. If you had to delete all but 3 apps from your phone, which ones would you keep? Now, I'll give you a pass. Your text message and your phone apps do not count in those 3. So those are going to be there regardless because what's the purpose of having a phone? But out of all the other apps on your phone, you can only keep 3 of them.
I would need my Gmail app. I need my email app. Okay. I need my Amazon app. I need my Amazon app. I need my Gmail app. And I probably can get rid of everything else. I'll keep either one of my social media apps.
Which one?
Probably IG. And I just started using it, so I'm having fun with it.
All right, so your email, your shopping habit, and your Instagram. Amazon. No, Amazon is a shopping habit within itself. That's all it is. What would it take? What would all it be included in your best day ever? So for you, from the minute you wake up to the moment you go to bed, and you would say, this is the best day I've ever had, what all would that entail?
I would have to be somewhere like where I would want to be. It couldn't be. I would have to be home.
I didn't say it's, like this is your best. This is your best day. You put it together.
I'll be somewhere.
You put together your definition of your best day.
I'll be somewhere in Africa or something.
Okay.
Some part of Africa.
What's going on that day?
I'm getting up and I'm trying some real live Nigerian fufu.
You are like the third person I have spoken to who wants to go to Nigeria. All 3 of them said it for different reasons. But continue.
I would have some nice looking person make me and clean person, make me some food, natural, just authentic food
Okay.
with a good stew, like
Okay.
a curry chicken stew or something.
Okay. So you've
And
eaten.
then I would go dance with them. I would want to learn a really nice dance that's easy for me to do. But I would want to keep doing it. And then I would want to go and get my hair done there, like some nice braids or something.
I heard getting hair done there is extremely cheap.
Yep. And then what else would I want to do there? Just a lot of cultural things like Nigerian foods and dances.
Why Nigeria?
Because I feel like that's the uppermost. I really value that blackness of us.
Okay.
I feel like we are black and we come from different parts of black. And that's the part of black that interests me.
Okay.
You know, and I've always been interested in Nigeria. I always wanted to go there and experience a day there, no matter what people say about it. I haven't been there. I want to go. And that's a risk I'll take because I don't like flying and traveling.
Okay. That's 3 questions. Was that 2 or was that 3? I think that
And
was
I would
just
want
one.
to eat dirt, African dirt. I just want to try it and see why.
Have you eaten American dirt?
I wouldn't.
But I'm just saying, like, why would you? That was random as hell.
I know. I just had to say it. You
Okay.
asked.
That's wild, fam.
And I'd be like, dang, I had a good day and not take a bath all day.
Nah, fam, you're not gonna be out here musty. You not gonna be out here. You not gonna be out here musty. I don't care what you say.
Who said I'd be musty?
Like, dog, you ain't took a bath or all that. You woke up, so you still whatever. And that Nigerian heat ain't no joke.
Oh,
So
I would love it. You get to
Okay.
have dress without people judging you.
all right,
Oof, boy, please.
all right. Who are your heroes in real life?
My mother.
Okay.
I love my mother. A lot of people love my mother.
I've never met your mama.
Oh, you would love my mother.
Your mama would love me. It's what really we're talking about. So
She is just this. She's stronger than she thinks she is.
okay.
She's more beautiful than she thinks she is.
Okay.
She's intelligent. She's smart. She's interior decorator. She's your spiritual partner. She will pray with you. She will laugh with you. She will clean your house up and down.
So my question is
She
your
will
mama
bake you up a
single?
caramel cake.
Is
honey.
your mama single at this point?
Listen, my mama is not up for grabs here. I'm
I-
just letting you know.
I'm just saying.
She's just the
I ain't got sound
all
like
around.
I'll be comfortable being her side nigga
Oh
if
my
she. I'm just saying if she
You
brings
know,
all this to the
most
table.
people just love her, and I'm serious. Like this
I
is
believe you.
just, and she's so humble and sweet, and I learned a whole lot of things from her. Sometimes we can be some hard-headed kids and not know the value that we have sitting right in front of our face.
It's true.
She's that.
Cultural differences and even those generational gaps can cause us to devalue those moments. So I completely understand. All right. Final question.
Pick a pregnant women craving non-nutritional food like dirt. Wow,
That's wild. I want them
that
to
is
do that.
wild.
All right. Before we get out of here, I have one last question for you.
And you saving it for last too.
Because it's a great closing question. It's a question I always ask anyway. If you could send a message to the entire world, what would you say in 30 seconds?
Start now. That's a quick question to just say, but I'm gonna be genuine, and I know it sounds corny since you always say,
No.
but it's
I
world
want you to
peace.
say, I want you to say the actual message.
People, we need to implement world peace. We need to really do everything we can to make or to love on one another and to understand that we have different backgrounds. Also, your color does not matter. Never have, never will. Racism shouldn't have never exist. And I know that it's hard for some people to get out of that funk, but your color does not matter. Only your attitude. Crime happens everywhere. We need to do what we can to come together and stop it.
Aw, that was so sweet. Wakanda forever.
You said Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
Just in case y'all didn't hear.
Okay. With that being said, we have come to the end of this pop-up conversation. We'll be doing more of those in 2023.
That was fun.
Only because she needs to get out of her shell. And the only way we gonna do that is if I make her get out of her shell.
I'm coming out of my shell, y'all.
Okay. So where can they find you? How can they listen to your past episodes as we get ready to start your new season?
So in this season, just like last season, there is a link right at the top of my Instagram page where you can get to my YouTube channel. Of course, you can find me here on Instagram,
I was like, where are we?
Spotify, iHeartRadio, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then I have a phone number listed also in my info. If you click on my bio, I do have it there just because some people would like to book me. So I want more bookings this time. You know, if you want me to do a brunch party for you, I'll bring the food. And sometimes, depending on where we are, I will provide the Airbnb. So you guys check me out, give me a call or inbox me. I'm not on Facebook yet. I don't like Facebook, but this year I plan to get on Facebook and do more there too. With that being said, goodbye.